And good morning, everybody. Welcome, Hot Takes Goodman and Haertl. Bruce, how are you? Happy October 1st.
October 1st, which means baseball in the postseason. Games 2 today. Red Sox figure out a way to finish off the Yankees in the Broncos.
Wow, you had to start the show in Denver that way.
I was going to wear my Red Sox cap today, but it's presumptuous because you don't put anything in the barn before the hay is ready to go, right? So, especially in a quick 3-game series. But they got the first one yesterday, got 3 outs after the bases were loaded in the 9th inning on the road in the Bronx. And I'm not jinxing anything. I'm just saying it was a good way to win. That's it.
I think I told you yesterday on the show that with the Denver Broncos, I will hitch my wagon to them for this reason. As I said, I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of people in the organization.
Sure.
As a professional, I want them to win. It makes my job easier. But on a selfish personal note, I'm looking for the family sweep this year during the football season.
Right.
Okay, so my cousin Michael, he lives in Nashville. He's a Titans fan. Check. Win. My cousin Lauren and my Aunt Lynn both live in Cincinnati. Check. Done. Broncos play the Packers later on this year. My father's a huge fan. Hoping that's a check right there. And I think I told you about my aunt who lives in Cincinnati.
Right, yeah.
She did live in Cincinnati with her husband, my Uncle Rich, before he passed away. Then they moved to Buffalo, and she's a huge Bills fan. Wow. So I told her on the phone yesterday, I'm looking for the family sweep here if indeed the Broncos can make it to the playoffs, play the Bills, and beat them as well as the Packers. And I'm feeling pretty good.
Good for you.
Then my aunt, my aunt said to me, she said to me about my cousin Lauren, who's a big Bengals fan, said, well, at least she has the Reds. Does she?
Well, 10-5 and Shoei going deep twice. One of them 454 feet. Yikes.
Yeah. Now, you brought something up that's very interesting, which is the baseball playoffs are underway. Today is October 1st. Give me a better sports month than October. You have the beginning of the baseball playoffs. You have the NFL in full swing. College football is full go with now conference games moving forward.
Right. Yep.
I mean, for me personally, I don't know if I'm looking forward to this game, but number 8, Indiana takes on number 2, Oregon in Eugene. So you have college football, NFL, start of the baseball playoffs. Av season starts in less than a week, and then in roughly 3 weeks, the Nuggets start the season.
No, there is no better time. In fact, you can take these 2 weeks right here at the beginning of October and make the argument that even within the month of October, it's the best time of the year because, like you said, everything is converging all at once. It's fantastic.
Now, hold on. Quoting one of the worst football coaches in Indiana football history, Lee Corso.
Oh, dear.
Not so fast.
All right.
Let's look at April, beginning of the baseball season, NCAA Final Four, the Masters, NBA playoffs begin, NHL playoffs begin, and the NFL draft.
Is the NFL playing?
Exactly. I was talking to my wife about it this morning.
Yeah.
And she's not a big sports fan, so I explained both months. I said the thing about October is the NFL is playing.
Right.
College football is playing.
Right.
So you have to lean, in theory, towards October. And it's my birthday. So that is the decider.
That is. That tips the balance. Nicely done.
Well, my birthday is just another day for me.
Yeah.
Right. It was my mother's birthday the day after my birthday.
Right.
But, for most guys, your birthday is just another day on the calendar.
Totally.
For my mother and a lot of women, that birthday, women don't want to talk about their age for starters, many of them, not all of them. But then their birthday lasts about 3 weeks. I would talk to my mother. Her birthday was October 10th. And let's say, I don't know, December 6th on the calendar. What are you doing tonight? Oh, my friend's taking me out for my birthday. Mom, your birthday was like 2 months ago. Oh, I know. They stretch it out.
You're like right about that. Yeah, you are right about that. They don't want to check off another year and talk about the age, but but it can last for weeks. Well,
want to tell you about the Sportsbook Bar and Grill in the DTC Highlands Ranch, and now a new fabulous location in Parker. Outstanding food. I've told you many times that I think the food there is so good. I get takeout. Other day, went over to the Sportsbook, saw my buddy John, who runs the place in Highlands Ranch, got some Philly cheesesteak egg rolls to go, cheese curds to go. I mean, the food there is amazing. It's a great place to watch the NFL, specifically the Broncos, and college football. I know some people might not be happy with the Sportsbook when I say this, but they are the watch party home in Parker, I've just found out, of Nebraska. But there are a lot of Nebraska fans here.
Sure.
At the DTC location, it is Iowa. And then it's Ohio State over at the Highlands Ranch location.
Well, you're going to have to start an Indiana chapter.
I don't know if there are enough fans to even fill a booth, more or less a bar.
They were very impressive against Illinois. I actually watched that game.
Yeah.
I don't know about their chances in Eugene, but you know what? I'll tune in.
Time now for the lead.
The lead is presented by Sasquatch Casino, a family-owned casino that treats you like family.
Let the arguing begin locally and nationally. The Browns are making a quarterback change, and it is not Shedeur Sanders. It is Dillon Gabriel. Why do I have a feeling we are going to be reliving, specifically nationally, Orton versus Tebow all over again?
Yeah, I wandered into the studio this morning, and the first thing that was up on our wall of video was Get Up, and that's what they were already debating.
Oh yeah,
already all over it, and I'm like, oh my God, you just got to be kidding me. This seems fairly simple to me, Eric, but maybe I'm naive, and you can help me here. I look for you often for mentoring and for direction.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
Kevin Stefanski is going to put the quarterback on the field that he feels can best win him a game and run his offense. Maybe I should say run his offense and win a game. So there is no conversation between Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. Joe Flacco has been made the second string quarterback, to my understanding. So there's really no doubt about the pecking order right now. Now, look, if something happens with Dillon Gabriel, and maybe then the discussion or the debate, whatever it is, gets a little louder. I certainly understand that. But right now, nothing has changed for Shedeur Sanders. He's still getting no reps at practice. We understand that he's doing a lot of work every single day. It's been reported that he's doing extracurricular work away from the facility, things of that nature. Good for him. Those are the things that he probably needs to immerse himself in right now. But I do think that there's an irony here that this very week, when we're talking about the benching of Joe Flacco in Cleveland and the injury to Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, that if the deal to have gone to Baltimore had happened, there was a very good chance that Shedeur Sanders would be making his starting debut this week for the Baltimore Ravens. Now, we don't know how the dominoes would have fallen, but I mean, if you want to connect the dots, that could have been a very reasonable outcome.
Okay. Generally speaking, during the draft, it's the GM that makes the decision on who to draft. In collaboration, in many ways, with the head coach. If Shedeur was the 3rd round pick and Dillon Gabriel was the 5th round pick, we'd be having a very different conversation right now. Of course. But it wasn't that way. Why in the world would the Browns, even if they believe it or not, why in the world would they put in their 5th round pick over their 3rd round pick, which would make them look foolish if they did? They'd be admitting a huge mistake. And let's face it, sometimes ego does come in the way and get in the way of proper decision-making. Now, I can think of an example where the Seahawks admitted their blunder publicly to everybody. And I believe it was back in 2012. They spent a lot of money on former Green Bay quarterback Matt Flynn, who had like a good game. Yeah, he had a good game, right? Yeah. And the Seahawks were all over him, threw a bunch of money at him. They drafted Russell Wilson, not in the 1st round, not in the 2nd round. He was later on in the draft, and Russell Wilson clearly beat out Matt Flynn. They admitted the mistake of signing Flynn to that deal. In this case in Cleveland, apparently Kevin Stefanski doesn't feel Shedeur Sanders has clearly beaten out Dillon Gabriel. And if you watch the first game for Shedeur, he was good. Yeah. Not great, but he was more than good enough. I mean, for a guy making his first NFL start, even though it was the preseason, you get extra points for anything that you do good because it was your first time on the field. But for as good as he was equally as bad, if not terrible, if not flat out rotten in his last appearance.
Eric, he has taken probably as many reps during practice now as he had before he ever became a quarterback in Cleveland with the Browns. He's had no reps. Right. When you are the 3rd quarterback, you're not getting any kind of reps inside the game plan. None. 0. You are running scout squad or whatever, but you are not a part of the game plan. To put him in a situation right now, I mean, you could get him some reps as the number 2 guy this week, but my goodness, he's nowhere near ready for any kind of action, even as the backup right now in Cleveland. So you'd almost be doing a disservice to the player if you moved him up the rungs too quickly.
If you are a Shedeur Sanders fan, you don't want him starting on Sunday for this reason alone. It's an off crazy week because they're playing in London. I don't think any rookie quarterback wants to be in that situation. Yes, they want to start, but it's not the greatest way to start your career when you have travel and your, for lack of a better phrase, your schedule is way off and the entire team's schedule is way off. Yeah. We'll see how Dillon Gabriel plays. If he plays well, good on him with all of the change that's swirling around him. I don't know if Shedeur Sanders is ready to play or not. Hopefully, at some point, he gets into a game. Right. Hopefully, he does play well. Listen, at the end of the day, he's a CU guy. Yeah. And we want CU guys to play well. Right. I'll give you one CU guy who has been a major disappointment. Would you have traded a first-round pick next year for what Travis Hunter is doing currently? He's not even close to being one of the best wide receivers in the league. He's not even close to being one of the best defensive backs in the league. He's got a long way to go if he wants to play both positions. And hopefully he does at a pretty good clip and he excels. He's far from being a bust. You can make the case Jacksonville isn't using him correctly, right? Yeah, sure. And it's very easy to say, well, it's Jacksonville. They're a crappy organization. They're 3-1 right now.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So with the Browns, you can say they're a crappy organization and look at how they're playing. Jacksonville, they don't have much history, but they are playing well as a team. So it's hard to point the finger at the Jaguars and say they don't know what they're doing. They're 3-1 with a rookie head coach.
Yeah. And I'm not betting against Travis Hunter. I know you're not either. We're both big fans of Travis Hunter, but he's off to a slow start, no question about it. And one wonders, I think it's natural to wonder whether you need to think about picking a lane and staying with it, right?
I don't think there's anything to think about.
I mean, come on.
Master one thing.
Exactly.
I understand that he played both ways in high school and at Jackson State and at Colorado. Playing in the Big 12, you're playing against a lot of people who are not going to make it in the NFL. If you're playing in the SEC and Big 10, you're playing against more of those guys.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting that Travis Hunter isn't one of the most unique and greatest players in college football history. But it is a huge step going into the NFL because you are playing against guys who are at worst at your talent level.
Yes.
If not considerably better. With that, let's move into what is coming up on Sunday. It is going to be the Broncos against the Philadelphia Eagles, the world champions. Broncos defense leads the NFL in sacks, quarterback hits, quarterback pressure rate at 47%. Now, let's split up this season. And you can split it up by who they played or home and away. When they played the Colts and the Chargers, both games on the road, giving up roughly 25 to 27 points a game and over 400 yards. At home, they played the Titans and the Bengals, giving up an average of roughly 7 points a game and about 140 total yards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Which defense is the Broncos defense?
Well, somewhere between the twain, we shall meet, right? I mean, I think that's probably where they are. I think the bigger question is, who is Philadelphia offensively? They're having a problem kind of gaining their identity. I mean, did they complete a single pass in the second half of the game last weekend? No. But are they still 4-0? Yes. Have they only lost one game in the last calendar year? Yes. It's the Philadelphia Eagles. They're the defending Super Bowl champions. They may have a lot of questions, but I don't. And we talked about this yesterday, Eric. I don't think the Broncos took a large step forward, but there are still questions around who the Broncos are, what you can count on, what you can depend on. Can you do it on the road? Can you do? I mean, there's all kinds of questions that still, I think, surround this football team. Are they maybe in a better position to answer those questions? We hope so, but this is another level. I mean, with all due respect to everyone that they played, including the Chargers on the road and the Colts on the road, you're going into Philly to play the Eagles now. This is a different level of test. We talked about it almost casually as a litmus test yesterday. What's beyond litmus? I mean, I don't even know what it is, but wherever that challenge lies, that's where the Broncos are this week. And defensively, they're going to have to be as good or better than they've been all season long to have a chance to win this football game, I think.
Sean Payton was asked about the Tush Push yesterday, saying he's in favor of it. So if he's in favor of it and a lot of other coaches are in favor of it, why aren't they running it?
Well, he did say also during that, he said that there's far more to it than just pushing a guy. You got to have a quarterback that's good at it. Jalen Hurts is certainly good at it. I thought it was unique that they ran a play.
Hold on. It's a quarterback sneak.
That's what, and
that's all it is.
Yeah.
It's a guy who pushes his weight forward. Now, Jalen Hurts, right? Jalen Hurts is thicker,
big, strong dude
than Bo Nix.
Yeah.
But Josh Allen is even thicker and bigger and stronger. So is Trevor Lawrence. I can think of a lot of quarterbacks who are bigger than Jalen Hurts. But it really doesn't even matter how big your quarterback is. How big are the guys behind that quarterback? That's what matters.
Yeah. It's a great question that you ask because
it works. It's almost foolproof.
Yeah.
Listen, when it is 3rd and 2, it really doesn't even matter where it is on the field. It could be on your own goal line, which clearly it can't be 3rd and 2 on your own goal line.
Right.
But you get what I mean. That is 2-down territory on, I don't know, 50 to 60% of the field.
Yeah.
And it works almost all the time. Granted, you have to perfect it. Yeah. And I get it. But why wouldn't you take advantage of this situation where they haven't ruled it out of the playbook yet?
Yeah, it's a great question, because the NFL is all about that. Anything that gives you a chance to win. Why wouldn't you work on it and perfect it as best you can? I don't know the answer to that. Everybody has their short yardage packages, and yet the Eagles are the only one. They're the originator of it. And in the great copycat league that is the NFL,
yep,
things that work in the NFL are replicated, man. They are taken and they are stolen immediately. But for whatever reason, the Tush Push hasn't caught on with others. I don't know why.
Let me just throw some percentages at you, or sure, I'm going to ask you the percentages, and you tell me if this makes any sense. Now, what I'm about to say is completely unscientific because we don't have exact numbers.
Right.
All right. What do you think the completion percentage is for most quarterbacks in the league? A swing pass.
A swing pass, I would say 71 or 72%.
I'll even go higher than that.
Yeah.
I'll say it's 80%.
Okay.
80% of the time,
yeah,
a quarterback will hit a running back on a swing pass out of the backfield.
Yeah.
Is that too high or too low?
No, I'd say you're closer than I am.
Okay. 80% of the time. Clearly, you're not going to run that all the time, even though you're going to complete 80% of your passes.
Right.
What is the percentage of times the Eagles convert on a tush push? It's over 80%.
Yeah, I think it's probably in the 90+% range, I would guess.
Okay.
Do you hope for them to have a bad snap?
Right.
I mean, how do you not make it?
You have a higher percentage, if you're the Eagles, of a tush push than you do a swing pass. Why aren't the light bulbs going off in the head of every single head coach? We should at least try this or practice it. It's proven. This isn't in the infant stages anymore. We're not looking for proof of concept here. It works over 90% of the time with this particular team. Now, they have a great offensive line.
Yeah.
They have the right quarterback running it.
Mm-hmm.
I understand all that.
Yeah.
Broncos have a pretty good offensive line, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
And they got some pretty big guys that they could put in behind Bo.
How about another opportunity for the fans to cheer for Palczewski coming on the field and just line them up right behind Bo Nix?
It's a reason that I love Broncos country. That the fact that they notice it and that they pay attention to it, and now it's become a thing.
Yeah,
it's really cool. Plus, Alex Palczewski is just kind of a great aw shucks guy. Right. He's perfect for it to be. Although, and then on top of it, he's actually good at what he does. He's in that formation because he's actually good at what he does. But to your point, Eric, you're absolutely right. The tush push is basically, it's the greatest part of what we like about football. Man against man, hit against hit, yep, hat on a hat. You know, we fight for those inches in between. That's what we live for. And it's getting those inches. Yep. You know, I mean, you're not trying to get to the second level to block a linebacker. You're just trying to get off in front of the guy that's in front of you and push him back enough to gain 6 inches, 8 inches, to whatever it is. So
okay.
I don't get it.
I have an idea for Sean Payton because I know he hangs on every word that we say on this podcast. Yes. Sean, I have a suggestion for you. And when it works, I want some public credit for this. Is it fair to say that when the Eagles line up in the tush push, they convert on it probably 90% of the time?
Yeah, I would say that.
And when they line up, they're going to run that play 98% of the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for the 2% that they did on last weekend, which I thought was actually cool.
And that's my point.
How cool is it that they actually have variations off the tush push?
But you know it's coming. It's like the
right. Yeah.
It's like the Packers with the power sweep with Paul Hornung and Jim Taylor back in the 60s.
Yeah.
You knew it was coming. I have a great idea for Sean Payton. Sean, I hope you're listening here because this is brilliant. I know that you have forgotten more about football than I know, but here's your suggestion from a guy who analyzes from his couch, a guy who you love that does podcasts, so on and so forth. Instead, during training camp, when you have the punters and you have the kickers just standing on the sidelines hanging out until it's their turn, how about take your backup center, okay, and line up Nate Atkins behind him, and then snap the ball couple times per session. And now your tush push is 6'3", 250-pound Nate Atkins doing your tush push.
Sounds
it's coming anyway.
Right.
It's not like, Atkins isn't throwing the ball. He's not going to pitch the ball. You know exactly what he's going to do, just like what Jalen Hurts is going to do. Nate Atkins is 250. Jalen Hurts is not 250. Okay? Jalen Hurts, he might be 6'3". Then you line up the regular guys behind him and you just push him in.
Yeah.
Would Nate Atkins be the right guy that you put in that position?
I think that he would be a very good start, right? I mean,
he'd be the guy.
Yeah.
And all he has to do in training camp is stand on the side with another center. Okay. So there's plenty of practice and they can practice the snap and run it that way.
I found it interesting.
And then you're not putting Bo Nix in harm's way either.
Yeah. But even with that thought, Sean yesterday talked about it as the safest play in football. I mean,
that's I don't agree with that.
I'm not sure
that's
because you get a lot of big bodies on top of one guy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
But you're only moving. I guess the logic of it is you're only moving 3 feet, 5 feet, whatever the number is. But
it's a dog pile.
Yeah, it is a dog pile.
And you don't know who's landing on you. So, Listen, Sean Payton played quarterback in Eastern Illinois. He was never part of a tush push. Right. Nate Jackson wasn't part of a tush push, but we did the show yesterday on Guerrilla Sports, and he goes, it's really not that safe. So to say it's not – to say that it's really, really safe, I don't agree with. And I haven't played in the NFL. Yeah.
And obviously he's been a part of the competition committee, which, feeds out whether or not that's illegal. And I think it's great that he's like, hey, he's basically saying, stop it.
Yeah.
He's basically saying, be quiet, shut up, and just figure out a way to stop it.
Coming up after the break, Nuggets had their first practice yesterday, and apparently it was spirited to say the least. So much, in fact, Julian Strawther lost his fake tooth during practice. That's how physical it was. So Christian Braun believes the Nuggets have everything they need to win a championship. Do they? That's next. Everyone has their favorite barbecue spot. Mine, Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew. My favorites, slowly smoked ribs, smoked corned beef Reuben, smoked meatloaf with a portobello balsamic cream sauce. Don't forget about Smokin' Dave's 16-hour smoked brisket and pork with one of their 4 homemade barbecue sauces. Great sides, you bet. Barbecue beans made with pork and brisket and their southern corn bake. Man, you got to try it. Plus, they have amazing non-barbecue entrees on the menu. Go where I go, Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew in North Denver.
Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos in Blackhawk have another incredible promotion. They'll be giving away a Ford Maverick Tremor truck or over $25,000 in cash the weekend of October 24th. Daily cash drawings are every 45 minutes between 10 a.m. and midnight. Players can earn daily entries with every locked-up jackpot or by redeeming players' points on their players' cards. Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos, loose slots, phenomenal promotions, great food, and a family-owned casino that treats you like family.
Spice up your next night out at Nola Jane and Lodo. Authentic Cajun cuisine like andouille sausage gumbo with dirty rice, crawfish etouffee, as well as 6 different po' boys like soft-shell crab and shrimp. Come in before or after a game at Ball Arena. Host a party or party on their rooftop deck overlooking Market Street during happy hour from 11 a.m. to 5. Plus, Nola Jane caters, delivers, and the kitchen is open late night. Make Nola Jane your new favorite spot to eat, drink, and party like it's Mardi Gras.
Ferguson's Heating and Cooling is the best in Denver, and their customers agree. Ferguson's has 165 5-star Google reviews, and here's one from Betsy. Highly professional, prompt, and honest. I switched to Ferguson's when I became aware my former company was trying to sell me a whole new system I didn't need. Ferguson's is an honest, working, family-owned business that'll give you a fair price, the highest quality parts and equipment, and they always show up on time. You can trust the Ferguson family like you trust your own family. Go to fergusonsheatingandcooling.com.
Everyone has their favorite sports bar. Mine, the Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Highlands Ranch, DTC, and now in Parker. All their locations are everything a sports bar should be. An upscale menu with 12 different burgers, outstanding wings, and my favorite, the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. They've got every game on the NFL Sunday Ticket, MLB Extra Innings, NHL Center Ice, NBA League Pass, plus soccer, rugby, and UFC. Sportsbook, great hangout bar, great for private parties. The Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Highlands Ranch, DTC, and now in Parker. They are the sports bar.
Ever wondered where city and county fleet vehicles go when they retire? Now's your chance to find out and score big. Imagine driving away with a great deal on a reliable vehicle. For over 45 years, Roller Auction has been the trusted source for government fleet vehicles and equipment. Trucks, SUVs, sedans, and more, all selling to the highest bidder. Don't miss out. Visit roller.bid/hot takes to get auction updates today. Your next vehicle could be just a click away.
Welcome back. Hot Takes. Goodman and Haertl want to tell you about Ferguson Heating and Cooling. They're the only heating and cooling company I trust, and here's the simple reason. They will not sell you something that you don't need. Their owner, Cody, told me that they know that they don't make a lot of money or they might lose money coming out to fix something. You know, usually these companies are going to push something new. A lot of the techs that come out do get commission if they sell you a new furnace or a new HVAC unit. That's not how he wants to do business. Just for that reason alone, those are the people that you want to work with. But also, their Google reviews are off the charts as well. Their customers absolutely love them. They do amazing work. They are honest. They show up on time. They're the type of company that you want to work with. Everybody says they do all of the things that Ferguson's Heating and Cooling does. Trust me, they don't. All of us have worked with heating and cooling companies, and they tell you need a new furnace. You don't. It can be fixed. FergusonHeatingandCooling.com, the only company I recommend in the heating and cooling business. Time now for What's Trending.
What's Trending is presented by Ferguson's Heating and Cooling. Your family should trust the Ferguson family for all your heating and cooling needs, and you'll see why they have over 165 5-star Google reviews. Make an appointment today at Ferguson'sHeatingandCooling.com.
Nuggets' first official practice was yesterday. Players optimistic. They're serious contenders for another title. Christian Brown says this team has everything it needs to win a championship. Do you agree?
Yeah. I mean, I do. If you just told me that their depth was going to be exponentially better than what it's been, which has not been very good since their championship season, their lack of depth has been glaring, but that gap certainly seems to be filled now. The reports of the competition between the so-called first and second units yesterday was really encouraging. That the second unit was playing at a very high level. I think that that's a great thing for this franchise. It's what it's desperately needed. Now they just need to get off to a good start, stay healthy, and see how this season plays out. But yes, I think that they are I don't know if they were all the way out of the championship window, but they were climbing out of it. I think they're climbing back into it now.
I don't think they're climbing, because when you say climbing, not to be pedantic with your words.
Well, that's okay. You can be pedantic.
That means that you're making an effort to make changes.
Sure.
They've already made those changes.
Fair.
Cam Johnson, starter, upgrade over Michael Porter Jr. They brought back Bruce Brown, who said the minute he stepped foot into Toronto, he knew he made a bad decision and he should have gone back to Denver. Tim Hardaway Jr. is a seasoned veteran. He is a leader as well. You have Valanciunas as well. I mean, look at this second unit that they're throwing out there now. Bruce Brown, Strother, who's now more than a few years into his NBA career.
Right, 3.
Tim Hardaway Jr.,
right.
Peyton Watson, who's a terrific defensive player. We'll see how much he improves offensively, and Valanciunas. That second unit is good enough to compete with some starting lineups in the league. I'm not saying they're better, but they're good enough to compete with some starting lineups in this league.
It's interesting to me, and I'm not saying that they're following the model, because the Nuggets had the model. They won a championship, right? They know what a championship roster should and needs to look like. But I think the example that Oklahoma City has given everyone as well. I mean, they go literally 10 deep.
But they have an advantage. But hold on.
Yes, they do.
Their advantage is when they built that lineup, right. When they built that roster, they did it with draft picks.
Yes.
And draft picks who were not making big money
are cheaper to do it with.
Now they are starting to pay guys.
Right.
And we'll see what it looks like in 3 years. Now, granted, they're still loaded with more draft picks.
Right.
More draft picks are on the way. But eventually, when you start paying guys, then you go up to the,
right,
the tax threshold and the second apron and so on and so forth.
And I don't care how teams get there. The important thing is that you do get there, and right. You recognize that you've got to have quality depth and a lot of it. The Nuggets have tried to do things basically with what? 7.5 guys when it comes to really trying to win in playoffs. And all you got to do is look at, and Indiana was a good example. Now that team has changed a lot now in the offseason, but Indiana and Oklahoma City were both teams that were really, really deep with quality depth, and you didn't have much of a drop off. You could mix and match players. You have no idea what that means to like a Nikola Jokic now having Valanciunas. Just think about the 4 or 5 minutes a night now that he doesn't have to play, and how the cumulative effect of that is going to work for Nikola Jokic during the course of the season, to have really good players backing him up so he doesn't have to be out there dragging everyone along with him. It's absolutely huge. So I'm really excited about what the Nuggets bring to the table, just as I am what the Avs bring to the table. We're in a very exciting, weird kind of bounce back for two franchises that have still been very good and have competed at a high level, but now seem to be, both of them, on upward arcs.
The only reason why the Nuggets roster looks like it looks currently is because of the trade of Michael Porter Jr.
Right.
That's it. The 4 guys I just mentioned, none of those guys, or I will rattle them off again, okay? The 4 guys that they picked up: Cam Johnson, Bruce Brown, Tim Hardaway Jr., Valanciunas. You can make the case maybe one of them is on the roster if Michael Porter Jr. is still on the roster. Yeah. That gave them a lot of financial freedom to build this roster. When you look at the championship team, I remember you and I were doing the show, and you may disagree, but I remember being incredibly bullish on the Nuggets when they picked up Bruce Brown and KCP. I said on the show, this is now a championship team because they picked up a pair of D3s.
Yeah.
That's what they were desperately missing. So which offseason do you think will turn out to be better. I understand they won a championship with KCP and Brown, but just as we sit here today, what looks better to you? What they did with KCP and Brown, or bringing in Johnson, Valanciunas, Brown, and Hardaway?
It's hard to argue against winning a championship.
Correct.
But I will go ahead and make the argument, because the fact that they have won a championship should change their vision and understanding about what it needs to compete for another championship. So from that standpoint, in terms of ammunition that you have going into a season, I think they're in a better place now.
Yeah.
Jokic at the top of his powers. Questions about where Jamal Murray is, with all due fairness to Jamal Murray, who, I like a lot, but we need to see more consistency.
Well, hold on a second. Let me stop right there. The word on Jamal Murray is, according to Adelman, had an amazing summer, looks great mentally. Adelman says he looks great.
Great.
He is taking a leadership role right now, something I don't know if he really took in the past. And this is Adelman's quote: "I give Murray so much credit in Los Angeles. It's not just getting on the court together. It's about going out, hanging out, grabbing something to eat, possibly a drink. It was good to see Jamal take the lead on that." I think that Jamal Murray, it's not that he realizes it, but listen, Jokic's legacy is tied to Jamal Murray. If Jamal Murray is great, this team beats Oklahoma City. Now, something else needs to be tethered to that. And we can talk more about that tomorrow, later in the week. We could talk about it next week. If this team is committed to being a top 10 defense and Jamal Murray takes off, Oklahoma City does not win a 7-game series against the Nuggets. They just don't.
If this team is a top 10 defensive team, their chances to win a championship improve exponentially, because they were a bottom third defensive team all through last season.
Correct.
Jamal, I want desperately to believe in Jamal Murray's ability to be a consistently strong factor, both as a leader and performer on this basketball team. With all due respect, I probably need to see it before I can vouch for it.
That's going to do it for us. Hot Takes, Goodman and Haertl. Make it the best possible day you can.